So this will be one of my last training flights, my last solo cross-country. I'll be taking off from Bountiful as usual. Sorry about the bugs on the windshield. I tried a different place to mount the camera and, well, yeah, you can tell it's a little bad. So here I go. This time I'll be going to Tooele Valley Airport and then on to Provo, back to Sky Park. So the first thing to do is to climb out here. It's a nice morning, just before sunrise. I got down to the airport and started getting ready. And now the sun's rising. It's nice looking. So anyway, get taken off here, circle around a little bit to get some altitude, and then contact Salt Lake Control. In order to get out to Tooele, I have to have them clear me through Salt Lake's Class B airspace. So they're landing to the south today, and that means the planes are coming in from the north, and they'll have me cross directly over the approach end of the runway to avoid the planes that are on final approach. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, but it was kind of fun to cross out over the airport and look down and see big jumbo jets taking off. Once I've crossed over the runways, they have me head out towards Antelope Island. And it was a real beautiful morning. This is kind of before all the haze had set in. Not many clouds and just real nice, smooth air, good flying. So I'm heading out towards Antelope Island now. In just a minute, they'll when I'm clear of planes on approach, they'll let me know that I can head direct to the south tip of the island, and I'll do that. I had a plane coming in behind me, actually, that was quite a bit faster, and he passes by me to the left in a minute. I'm not sure if it shows up on the video, though. Man, those bugs are really bad. So, yeah, once I get to the south tip of the island here, I'll make a turn down towards the south. You'll be able to see Saltaire, probably, if you look really closely, and Garfield stacks there are just right at the tip of the mountain. You'll see possibly some smoke coming out of them. Really giant smokestack, kind of crazy. It looks pretty neat from the air, if you can get a good view of it. Just beyond the mountains to the right there is going to be Tooele and Stansbury Park. If I had an engine problem here, I'd probably be swimming to shore, which wouldn't be a lot of fun. Luckily the plane's been pretty reliable. This area of the flight, again, I'm starting to look for Tooele Airport, see if I can find it. There are a few other planes out practicing in the morning. I can hear them on the radio and trying to make sure I listen to and avoid running into where they're at. So I'm starting to descend a little bit now. Found the airport off to my right. I'll make a turn here in a second to intercept a 45-degree angle to the downwind leg, which is parallel to the runway. This is the downwind leg. Then I'll turn left to get on the base leg. Another left turn to final. This one was a little sloppy. I end up having to kind of come at it at an angle, but lots of headwind today from the south. It was probably about 10 or so miles an hour, which meant that the plane comes in pretty slow unless I use a lot of power. I had to use a lot of power to get into that one because I misjudged the wind. But the touchdown was pretty smooth, and I didn't like the way I flew that pattern, so I wanted to do one more, so I decided to go back up and go around again. When the propeller intersects the sun, it seems to make the artifacts on the camera even worse. So I apologize for that. In addition to the bugs, this was kind of a nasty video. So one more approach. This one was higher and a little bit more appropriate. Touchdown in a a good spot, and all in all, it felt pretty good. Had some drift there, a little gust, changed the direction of the wind. So I'll take back off, and then I'm going to head straight to the south. You'll see Tooele pass by on the left of the airplane. Again, just a beautiful, clear morning. Fresh snow and real nice. Down to the right is an old munitions depot or something. There was a lot of interesting little dugouts or buildings and stuff. And I kind of hang here close towards the mountains because there's a restricted flight area. I guess there's a chemical weapons place where they break down chemical weapons and dispose of them, just off to the right of the airplane. And they don't like you to fly below 8,500 feet, and I didn't want to go that high on this leg of the journey. So I'll come around the tip of this mountain. You'll see Utah Lake and Fairfield. Utah Lake straight out in front. Lots of kind of mist and haze, but really nice looking. Over here to the left will be Cedar Fort, and I was looking out the airplane to see if I could figure out where I did those shooting matches, but couldn't find it with the snow and things. So I called Savannah right about here and told her where I was at, and told her to call Mary because I was going to be coming around kind of right over their house in Saratoga Springs. And so I decided to circle and see if I could see anybody or have them see me. So I whip around here. I'm watching the ground, and I spotted their house, and then I call Provo Tower to let them know I'm on my way in. They give me instructions on how to enter. It was a little tricky spotting the airport with the haze and being kind of unfamiliar with where it was at. But I get the airport identified. And then, because it's a towered airport, I don't have to do quite the same things that I do at a non-towered airport. At a non-towered airport, you want to fly a particular pattern around the airfield so that other pilots can anticipate and know kind of where you'll be. At a towered airport, the tower is watching out as well, and so there's less need for that. So they can clearly make straight in approaches or approaches just from the base leg or whatever, which is what he had me do there. This one's real slow. There was a good amount of wind, and just made a real slow approach. This was a pretty decent short field landing if I would have touched down a little earlier. But all in all, the landing was good. So I get off the runway here and taxi back. I decided to be good practice to try and make a full stop landing, do more like what I'd do if I was actually taking a trip somewhere. So I had the controller tell me how to get back to the what they call the fixed based operator, or FBO. Usually at every airfield there'll be a company that manages fuel and all kinds of stuff. So I parked here in front of TAC Air. They usually have cars that they'll let pilots borrow for a few hours to go get lunch or whatever while they fill up the plane or work on maintenance things. So I just got out and stretched my legs and checked things out, and then I got back in the plane and got on the line with the tower and talked to them about taking back off and heading to Sky Park. I was a little bit nervous about this guy who just kind of stood there watching me. I think he was just trying to be really helpful and courteous. They were super nice down there. The guys, really willing to help pilots out. They kind of live or die by fuel sales, so they're often really willing to do lots of things for pilots. It's kind of I don't know, you feel like a king kind of when you go into a place like that. So heading back off to Sky Park. There's a bunch of aircraft training at Provo and lots of other flights around. So get climbed back up a bit. Didn't want to go too high, so I stayed about 6,500 feet. And about here I got on the line with Salt Lake Approach to talk to them about transitioning back through their airspace. I could have just gone straight over the point of the mountain and avoided it, but it's better to be on the line with them because they give you advisories about other traffic and let you know, when other planes are getting close to you. So it's a good idea to talk to those guys, even though it's pretty easy to avoid doing so a lot of the time. It's just good practice. So coming back over kind of our old house down in Midvale here pretty soon. Not too much to see until we get up closer to Salt Lake. We'll pass by fairly quickly, but I'll slow down the video a little bit more so that you can get a little better glimpse at the town. There's the big hospital down there in Murray. Mountains sure look nice. It'd be fun to take some trips over the other side of the valley. This will probably be my last cross-country flight until I get my license, unless I don't pass on February 1st. There's Salt Lake City down there to the right, and off to the left on the diagonal you can kind of see Salt Lake International again. Sky Park could be directly off the nose, but again I enter the pattern, in a 45-degree angle, and so I'll circle around and make that approach in and get in the pattern in the right way. Not really any other planes out this morning. This time it was nearly lunchtime on a work day, so everybody else is at work doing things they should be doing. Just playing hooky. So setting up for the final approach. Come in. This one I ended up bouncing the landing just a little bit, but you can't hardly even tell in the video. Worked out pretty good all in all. So that's it. I'll take my check ride on February 1st. Maybe hopefully have a couple additional training flights between now and then to practice for the check ride, and that'll be that. Hopefully I'll be a private pilot, and look forward to doing more of these with on my own.